So, in this video I'm going to show you guys more Roblox physics stuff. So like in the video about wheels and stuff, when I showed you guys how to use basic wheels and make basic gears, which the more complicated stuff was sort of a failure in that video, but you know, when you make something more complicated, you have to spend more time making it work. So, I'll show you guys again how to use basic wheels and stuff. And here's my buddy I bumped into here. This is just a random Roblox player, but he's pretty chill. He welded this stuff to his body. Yeah, see? He's now smarter. And so are all you guys. And now I'll go ahead and get started with the basics. So basically, all you need to do is hit J on your keyboard if you're on computer, and if you're on phone or tablet, this will not work. And click the ground, and this will add a block like this. Then, you want to go over to your unanchor tool here. Now he's dancing, you can see. And the unanchor tool has a little anchor of a ship on it. You can click on it, or you can click M on your keyboard either way. Go over to the left side of your screen, click on anchor. It will make it bigger. Or not bigger, it will make Roblox physics act on it. So now it's free in the world. And now I'm going to use the Resize tool here. And the Resize tool is this thing with these little dots, like this. Oh my gosh, he put a funny face here. You guys get to see the funny face he's got going on. And now you can see, after I resize the block, I can push it around. And this is some basic Roblox physics stuff. So now that I've unanchored it, which I'll show you again. So you click J on your keyboard, or you go over to the plus sign, add a block. Use the arrow tool, which it automatically defaults, which means just to go back to. This would be preset to. This yellow stuff, which lets you move the block around. And now I'm going to go ahead and unanchor it again. So watch my arrow. Go over to unanchor and unanchor, and see how physics pulls it down now. Or gravity is what you would call the act of it getting pulled down towards the Roblox Earth in this case. And now I'll just show myself pushing this block around. As you can see, you can push it around and stuff. And even if you want to make it different, is you can go over to this N tool. It says N or gear. You can go to the gear tool, go to the left side of your screen, and make it any sort of material. And every material in Roblox has different properties. So wood and smooth plastic are the lightest. So say I'll make it wood here and push on it. Now it should be even easier for my character to push. But if I click again and I go over to change material, and I go over here to corroded material, this is the heaviest material in the game unless they changed it. Now you can see I can't push it at all. Now it's still unanchored, but you cannot move it around. It's just heavy. And if like you were to build a building out of this and drop like a big ball on it, it might not break apart as easy because it's being pulled down towards the center more. And now, next I'll show you a wheel, of course. So you want to go back to your plus sign tool over here. And you want to go over to the left side of the screen and add a cylinder. And how you do that, once again, is you can click J or the plus sign, and you want to go to the left side, and in part type, you can change what part you're getting, and here's the cylinder there. And now I'm going to resize this, and you guys know how to resize. You either hit X or go to the bubbly square tool here. And then I'm going to unanchor, once again, boat anchor thing. And now we can roll this along the world, right? It looks really nice, it's awesome. Roblox physics is pretty cool. It's very similar to real world physics. Other than light. Light does not behave very well in Roblox. That's mostly because there's not a lot of math to depict light. But then again, you guys don't need to be a mathematician to play Roblox, right? So now, I will show you how to build something with these Roblox physics, right? We'll make something fun, like a wheel machine. So here, one of the most basic ways to make a wheel machine in Roblox, like a car, which I've showed you guys before, is to add a block. You guys know how to do that. You can hit J or the plus sign thing, click the ground. We got a block, and then you pick it up with your Z tool, arrow tool. And then what we want to do, and you gotta really pay attention here, is you gotta go over to the B tool. See this? You can click B and get it to happen, or you can click on that. And you want to click on a side where you want to add this thing. So I'm going to click this side, and it's going to say type smooth I'm going to click that side again, and over here on the left, where it says type smooth, now it will say right instead of all, and I go to where it says type smooth, and tell it to be a hinge. Basically, what this hinge thingy is a place where something will rotate, and I'll just explain this a little bit, because I actually haven't explained this to you guys before. I've showed you guys, but haven't explained it, so I'll make a copy of it. And the copy is you click on the block and hit Shift C, and then use your bubble thingies to move it out of the original. And we should add a block, and you guys know how to add a block now because I've explained it tons. And I'll just drag it right on top of the rotaty thingamajiggy, or the hinge. Its proper name is hinge. And I will just use normal over here on left to shrink it down a little bit. Maybe adjust it on the bottom and the top. Looks like our buddy left. He's probably still in game someplace. And then we will unanchor. And now you can watch as if I push on this thing, it spins around. Like that. It has a little bit weird properties. I don't know how Roblox has that programmed. But that doesn't matter. You just care that it spins and is epic. So we have our spinning thingy-majiggy of epicness. And what really matters when you connect something to a hinge is that it has to make good contact with the hinge and the block, but not so much contact that it's pushing in. And I'll show you that real quick, because Roblox Hinge Physics actually is sort of complicated, even though it should be simple. I have to just say, you have your increments in your move tool set to 0.001, and how you set that is you go over to your Z tool or arrows tool there, you go to the left and you set it an increment here. Now, most people who are building all the time with F3X will have their increments set like this, and this is where you'll get into a problem when you're putting stuff onto a hinge, because you have to manually slide the block in like this, and you have to really have an eye for putting it on right, because if you don't put it on right, then it won't link up, and I can show you that here. I'll make a copy of this to show you. Now, if I did it right, then it won't fall off. If I did it wrong, then it will just fall right off. So I did it right, and now it's on it. But if I, say for example, make one that wasn't right like this, just with a wee little bit of offness, and I unanchor that, it doesn't work. So, it's like Legos. You gotta put it all the way on, okay? So now, what can we do with this unanchored piece of stuff? Well, you can make a car, and I showed you guys how to make a car, but I'll show you how to do it again, just for the sake of displaying Roblox physics. So I'm gonna make a copy of this thingamajig, and we move it over here. And now we're gonna actually put a hinge on the other side of this thing. And this isn't the easiest way to do this. I'll show you guys the easiest way to do this. So now we go back to our cube looking tool here, or the B tool, and you can do it either way. You can click on it here in this toolbox over here, or you can click B on your keyboard. I prefer to use the hotkeys and that thing like a mix, because sometimes you don't always remember the key on your keyboard. You click, then you click again, so then you get the right facing or side in here. We set it to hinge, so now we should have a hinge on both sides of this, so we'll delete this block. And now I'm going to color code, because color coding makes making machines way easier. So we'll color this block here like a very sharp pink, a pink that like burns your eyes. And how you do that is you click V, or click on the paint bucket tool, and then go over to the left and pick whatever color you want. So this is now pink, right? We got our pink base block. And we're going to resize it with the Resize Tool. And you guys know what that is now. And if you don't, it's the X tool or the little bubble thing. Right there. And now, I'm going to make a copy of this block I have, and the hinges will copy with it. So you just click it, hit Shift C, you got a copy, right? Now we got two of these things. Now, we got to put wheels on it, right? So now we click our Add tool, we go over to the left side, and we go down to Cylinder. We add a cylinder into the game, and we just resize our cylinder here. And mine is not going to be beautiful, so just mind that. I'm going to lower the car body here, and just slide it over towards the wheel. And then I'm going to bring the wheel on to the thing. Now, if the wheels are off center with the hinge, then it will behave really weirdly, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a moment once we're done making our car. So I'm just going to make sure this is absolutely perfect, otherwise it won't work. And I'm going to paint my wheel blue, so then I can tell the difference between the blue wheel and the pink car, because if everything's white, then you have no idea what you're doing. You're just going to be confused, trust me. So then, we'll make copies of these wheels, but first I'm going to test and make sure my thing works. And how you test to make sure your thing's going to work is you select your blue wheel by holding shift and click on your pink part, and then hold shift C, and then use the yellow things to move it over here. And then we'll just unanchor the wheel. And see how the wheel stayed on. Now, that means it worked. If it wasn't going to work, then it would have fallen off like that. So now that I know my wheels are going to work, and I can sort of tell it's off center, like if we look, you can see that it's like way off. But that doesn't matter for this first example for you guys. Now we're going to copy our wheel, and you guys know how to copy, shift C, and then just drag. And then we'll just copy both wheels, and to select both, as always, hold shift, click, click, and then copy them, just like they're a block, shift C, and drag them. Now getting both of these hooked on is even tougher than hooking one thing on at a time, because now we got to get both of these perfect. Looks like it might be perfect. And now for one of the hardest parts about making your car or cart work is welding. Now a lot of people get confused the first time they weld, because actually I have no idea why, but they do, trust me, because I've taught this to at least 30 different people now. So just stay with me here while we weld. What you want to do is you want to weld the pink to the pink. So you click, hold shift, and click on the pink, and make sure it looks like how I have it. Then go slowly over to this tool that looks like a chain link. And then go back and click weld to last. Now you don't want to weld the wheels to the pink. The wheels stay separate. This is where everyone gets confused. I remember. Everyone I've taught how to weld so far always gets confused and welds the wheels. Don't weld the wheels. Then go up to your unanchor tool and unanchor the pink. Now you'll see the car is still not moving, and that's a good thing. Now you want to go, hold shift, and select all the wheels and unanchor. And now it will move together. And now you made a car. Now you're wondering, well, how do I drive this car? Well, I'll tell you how to do that too. Now all I have to do, we're just waiting for the car to quit rolling around, is go to the plus sign tool, over to the parts, and add a vehicle seat. And I always paint my vehicle seat green or red. Just makes it easier to see and understand that it's a vehicle seat. And I also always put it in the center of the car, so somewhere in here is the center of the car. All you do is you hold shift, click on the green vehicle seat, click on a pink piece, weld them together. And how you weld them together, once again, is you take your mouse down to the F tool, over to weld to last, and then unanchor it, like this. And now I can drive the car. Sometimes Roblox doesn't do driving cars very well, but, you know, it's mostly my fault for building the car messed up, and this is a great time for me to show you guys why you want the wheels to be in the center. Notice how my wheels sort of hobble and wobble. That's why you want the wheels to be perfectly in the center of the hinge, otherwise you get a bouncing car. So, this is all for this video in basic Roblox physics junk. I might do one more on this sort of stuff, but there's really not much more I can show you. So, goodbye.